Hi children, this is a continuation class of chapter 2, Understanding Secularism. So in the previous class we have discussed about what is Indian secularism and what are the objectives that were followed in the Indian secularism. Now we are going to see Indian secularism differ from others. Before getting into the topic, let us recall about Indian secularism. So, in an Indian secularism, to respect the sentiment of all religions and not to interfere with the religious practice, the state make certain exception for particular religious communities. So the Indian secularism worked to prevent the domination, and in order to prevent this religious based exclusion and discrimination of lower caste, the Indian constitution banned the untouchability. To ensure the laws relating to equal inheritance rights are respected, the state may have to intervene in the religious based personal law of communities. Now coming to the topic, the intervention of the state can be in the form if supports. So we are going to see in what way is Indian secularism differ from that of the democratic countries. For example, the First Amendment of the US Constitution prohibits the legislature from making laws respecting an establishment of religion. So what it actually mean here, the establishment, the word establishment is that the legislature cannot declare any religion as the official religion. Any religion, the legislature cannot declare any religion as the official religion. Nor can they give a preference to one religion. In the US, the separation between the state and the religions, that neither the state nor religion can interfere in the affairs of one another. You've got it? So, the state, neither the state nor the religion cannot interfere in the affairs of one another. So, this is one significant way in which Indian secularism differ from other democratic countries, because in Indian secularism, the secularism which is practiced in America is different, because unlike the America, strict separation between religion and the state, the Indian secularism can intervene in religious affairs. That is, the Indian constitution intervened in Hindu religious practice in order to abolish untouchability. So, in the Indian secularism, though the state is not strictly separated from religion, it does maintain a principal distance vis-a-vis religion. This means that any interference in religion by the state has to be based on the ideals laid out in the Constitution. Have you understood? Any interference in religion by the state has to be based on the ideals laid out in the Constitution. So, if there is a point which is mentioned in the Constitution, so you can make the interference based on the Constitution which has already framed out. These ideals serve as the standard through which we can judge whether the state is or is not having according to secular principle. And this is how the other democratic countries differ from India. So, our Indian state is secular and work in various ways to prevent religious domination. Our Indian constitution guarantees fundamental rights that are based on this secular principle. However, this is not to say that there is no violation of these rights in Indian society. Indeed, it is precisely because such violation happen frequently that we need a constitution mechanism to prevent these from happening. The knowledge that such right exists make us sensitive to their violation and enable us to take action when this violation take place. That's all about the lesson, understanding secularism. So, in the end of this session, I am going to ask you one question. Can you think of a recent incident from any part of India in which the secular ideals of the constitution were violated and persons were persecuted and killed because of their religious background? Can you able to recall any such moment of this recent? Yes, I am going to share you one recent incident. On 17th June 2020, Prashant, a Dalit boy, he was in his late 20s. On his wedding day, he was riding a colorfully decorated horse, and it was a common practice in that village. But he was abused by a group of upper caste villagers. They insisted that riding a horse was an upper caste privilege and threatened that boy as well as that boy family. So, as a growing generation, you should have a thought that untouchability is sin and it should be abolished. As it is a secular country, we should respect all the religious. So, no one should be discriminated against on grounds of their religious practices and belief. Thank you.